Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Edel Perlstein. Last week, we visited Israel for a bar mitzvah. On Friday, my family decided to go to hire a driver and go to Hebron with a group of 20 to 22 people of us. My parents, my other members of the family. We wanted to visit the cave of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, which we went to Hebron. We were told by the driver that he can also take us on top to the cave of Yishai ben Ruth. So we went up to the caver, and on the way back from the caver, we saw a post of a couple of soldiers standing over there, and we made a stop to say hello to them. For us, we are not from Israel. We were very excited to see soldiers protecting us. And we went out and we started talking to them, and things got exciting. And we said, oh, it's Friday, it's before Shabbat. And we started dancing with them and just joyful. We were just excited. When a car arrived, a little boy walked out of the car with a plate with an adult standing next to him, and his mother remained in the car, walked over to the soldiers and said, look what I made you, sandwiches and other goodies, started sharing with them. At that moment, his mother said, oh, by the way, it's his bar mitzvah today. We got super excited and we started singing Simon Tov and Mazel Tov, and we were all excited, and the soldiers were super. They were so nice and so friendly the whole entire time. From when we stopped at the checkpoint until this bar mitzvah boy arrived, must have been a nice few minutes. And then he arrived, and it became, super exciting. Nobody was there. It was quiet. No passerbys. There wasn't a single person there. All of a sudden, from the left side of the direction of the caver, there was a group of people who were approaching us. We had no idea who they are. And there was a woman who came up the first, and she ran over to my wife, and she started yelling at my wife, this is a Chilal Hashem, get out of here. You have no right to be here. We had no idea. We're not from Israel. We're not heavily involved in the politics. So we had no idea what it's about. And we said, why not? The boy's having bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah? Go to the kosel. Don't come here. Don't go dance over here. This is the land of the Arabs. This is whatever. Started yelling and screaming. The soldiers at that point didn't know what's going on, but they watched how we were being attacked. And again, I repeat, nobody was there. We were there first. Nobody bothered this group. This group came all of a sudden and started attacking us, yelling and screaming. They started pushing my wife. So the soldiers came over and said, guys, why are you bothering them? What do you want from them? That's when they got completely hostile with the soldiers, and they started shoving, literally, they were pushing their nose into the soldiers' nose. They started putting the video cameras into their nose, and the soldiers at first were just saying, like, guys, just continue walking, stop bothering them. They're not bothering anybody. They started yelling and screaming at the soldiers. You guys, the little, Hebrew we know, you're not allowed to be here. And they started attacking, accusing the soldiers, and the soldiers kept on begging them, just move up a little, continue, leave alone. Nothing was working. And the environment started getting completely hostile. We didn't know at that point what the end is going to be, but we were on a rush. We had to get back to Yerushalayim. So we told our family, okay, this is becoming a big deal. Let's just all go back into the van. We went into the van and we drove away, only to learn when we got back to Yerushalayim, to Jerusalem, we learned that the whole thing escalated, and all of a sudden we're seeing in the media that the soldiers were attacking these people. We were very disturbed. I mean, none of us are not, we're not involved in the Israeli politics or anything, but we're very disturbed. We've clearly, from the beginning to the end, we were a group of 20 witnessed that at no point did the soldiers confront them. They were not there when there was a peaceful, just a little dancing and singing. They stopped to attack us. They pushed us. They spit at people. They were spitting at the soldiers, pushing, screaming at the soldiers. Very, 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 very aggressive. And they were really provoking, just looking for trouble. So when my family learned about everything that happened to the soldiers, we were extremely sad. Some of the members of my family, my father was born in Jerusalem in 1942. And he's turning 80. Everybody was like so shocked that when we learned that the soldiers are the one getting in trouble. We did see the video, and of course it's uncalled for. A soldier needs to stay professional, and at no point should you be hitting anybody. So yes, when he threw him down on the ground and he punched him, I did see that video. That is very unprofessional, and that needs to be addressed. But there's definitely a lot more than one side to the story of who provoked who. They started up with the soldiers. They started fighting with the soldiers. They provoked him. The soldiers tried peacefully, most probably more than a dozen times before we even left, tried to get them to continue on their way and try to de-escalate the situation. And like I said before, they were just coming up to the face to face. They were just trying to do whatever they could. I mean, the videos all over the place pushing. They were trying to do whatever they could to get into the soldier's face. Now, my family was heartbroken. To me, it's especially, very disturbing as my position in New York City as the community board chairman, working with the NYPD on a daily basis, helping them between lots of African American communities, but mainly the Jewish community, of trying always to keep the peace between having the police stay professional and the people on the street, of building bridges of community relations with the NYPD. It was very disturbing. I must say that even in New York, it would have been a real problem if anybody would walk over to an NYPD officer and push him and shove him like that and push his nose into him and the cameras. That would be a real provoke. Again, that does not make light for anybody to punch anybody, but definitely very important to understand where this altercation and who provoked who. So that's why I hope you can share the real truth of the story. And these soldiers were super